Hi guys, and welcome to Petrolheads London, and back to the F-Type. Yes, I love this car. So, I thought I'd start this video on a nice, twisty country road, because this is why I bought this car. This is where it excels, but not only here. So I wanted to do a living with this car. I've had this car for 2 years now, because this is a cracking little road. So I've had this car for 2 years now, and I thought it was about time of doing a living with. And I'm very fortunate that I've had lots of really nice cars that, you know, I've bought over the time. And I've kind of usually maxed out at about 2 years, and I get to that point where I'm just probably looking for something else, or maybe I'm bored and I just like trying different cars. But I do love this car, and when I haven't driven it for a while, like I hadn't before I jumped in it today, I just realised why I love it. I look at this expansive bonnet rolling out in front of me, and I'm like, I can't sell this. It's just too lovely. So, in terms of a living with video, what's to tell you? So I purposely chose the 3 litre V6. Now, my heart says 5 litre V8, because that engine is just quite something. And I've toyed with the idea of swapping this out. But the 3 litre V6 is just so drivable. And on roads like the one we've just been on, it's great. But actually, well, let me quantify that a bit. It's great because it's fun, it's responsive, it gives you that kick up the backside when you plant your foot, when you're in dynamic mode, everything sharpens up, and I've done videos about this, but it is just awesome and fun. However, when you get on a nice boring road like this A road I'm about to jump on, or a motorway, it's also great. And I've driven this car down through France, I've been all over the UK in it, and I've done lots of long trips. And actually, you take the exhaust, which I didn't have it on actually then, out of loud mode, you just put it in normal drive, and do you know what? It's just an awesome everyday car. This is my main car, and I use this all the time. Yes, it's got a really tiny small boot, but actually there are many times where I find it difficult. When I went to France, I bought 7 cases of wine squeezed into there with all of my luggage. Like, it's actually not that bad, and I think you just have to, I mean, I travel on motorbikes and stuff as well, so you learn to pack light. But it's just that kind of versatility of this engine I love. It's responsive, it's got enough power to be big and angry, but it also can be a great kind of GT motorway cruiser. The suspension's comfortable, yeah, it's firm, but it's not so firm that you feel every lump and bump in it. And I just wanted to bring you guys, who've, you know, those of you who already follow me or know who I am, my name's Tom, by the way, and this is my F-Type, and I just want to give you a real life view of it. Now, the other thing to talk about is I bought a convertible. Now, I don't have the lid down because of the noise on the camera, and it is probably just warm enough. It's early teens at the moment. And I do toy with swapping this potentially for a coupe, so 5 litre coupe, or keep this. But you know, I love getting the roof down, and it actually looks great when the roof's down. The noise cancellation, for want of a better word, soundproofing, is actually pretty good. I don't find it overly noisy when driving it with the roof up. You do feel like you've got quite a small enclosed cabin, but it's comfortable. So some of the other things I talk about. One of the problems I have with cars these days, and sort of specifically this one, is everything is an option. So I don't have fully electric seats, I've got partial, which is pretty standard these days. I don't have memory seats, not a big problem for me, but it's a nice to have. I don't have the upgraded stereo, like, it's not bad on this, and I've kind of grown to like it. I had to have a few tweaks. There were a few rattles and stuff in the doors. I'm quite particular about these things. Now that's sorted, it sounds so much better. But those things aside, it's a really nice place to be. There's not too much plastic. There's quite a lot of leather. It's all really well put together. The other little thing I'm going to point out here, now I'm here, is wing mirrors. I don't have self-folding wing mirrors. I mean, it's a tiny little thing, but how is that an option on a car of this money in this day and age? I know it's a few years old, this car, but you'd expect that kind of thing to be standard. It's no slouch, this car. I'm sure I've mentioned before, but 0 to 60 is 4.9 seconds. I think to get the best out of it, you really need to either flick the gear knob over here and use the gears, or you can just go ahead and use the gears. And I think that's where you get the best out of it. And I actually find you get the best out of it in dynamic mode using the paddles. On the motorway though, it just behaves like an automatic, really. Another reason to get this car was fuel efficiency, and it's not that bad. You know, I get probably mid-20s on it most of the time. I think it's booked around early 30s. But, you know, if you're driving it and enjoying it, that's kind of what you're getting, speed-wise. Fuel efficiency-wise, even. Just to talk about in terms of having lived with this for 2 years. Servicing costs, I've talked a bit about that in another video, so I'm not going to go into that. Tyres, it doesn't really chew through them. To me, it seems pretty good on tyres so far. I just don't tire of this car. I know I said I was getting bored, but the fact that it has this split personality, that you can jump on a country road, have a load of fun on it, and then jump on a motorway like this and cruise off into, you know, 200 miles, you know, down through the country, I think is one of its real plus points. To me, one downside is, and this is a 2-seater sports car, is it doesn't have any rear space. I'd love something like the 911, although it had ridiculous back seats, they're sometimes quite useful. So to me, I'd almost want that, and I don't want an XK, that's not the type of thing I'm after. But I think these are all pretty minor things. I love the reaction this car gets, and I've talked about this before. I didn't buy a car for how other people react, but people just seem to love it. And you know, that's one of the things, every time I think, oh, maybe another C63 or something like that, this has just got a certain following about it, and a certain passion around the design and the performance. And you know, Jaguar have done really well with this car. They've created a lot of different variants. You know, arguably the R and the all-wheel drive are pretty awesome cars, and probably up there in where I want to be in terms of different variants of this. But this 3-litre V6 engine is pretty damn good, and with that exhaust note, sounds amazing. I love this car. I love the fact that it has a clamshell bonnet that opens up. Not many cars have that. It's a real novelty thing. I love the lines of the sort of sweeping bonnet, and then just looking in the rearview mirror now as the little fins popped up. I also love this colour. You don't see this a lot. I did almost buy a Fire Sand one, which would have, oh, I don't know, it's a love and hate colour. That's bright orange to those of you who don't know that car. But this Italian Racing Red, I absolutely love it. It does show marks and stuff, which is not great, and you know, I suppose I'd love my car to be perfect all the time, but that's not always the case. I've done quite a few miles in this car now, and it's just so versatile at everything it does. And I'd be really keen to hear your comments. These living with videos are so difficult to do, because I know what I know about it, but like, what do you guys want to know about this car? What is it that you want to see that I've done with it? So despite the fact I moaned about everything being options, It does have quite a lot of other features on this car. I love the fact that it's got a really good reversing camera. It's quite easy to park. It's got good parking sensors. It's really difficult to feel the end of the length of this car because it just sweeps away this humongous bonnet. But the purpose of a Living With video is just to tell you kind of what it's been like. And over the last, I don't know what I've done, 12,000 miles I've done in this car. This is a pretty non-point because it's kind of done everything it should have done. And that's great. But do you know what? It does it with a smile on your face. Thank you for watching Petrolheads London. Please remember to like and subscribe. Comments below. What else would you like to know about this car? Thanks for watching. Cheers.